cost about $1 billion. Mitt Romney's presidential campaign, including all the super PAC spending, the Republican Party spending, cost $1 billion 4 years ago. President Obama's winning re-election campaign cost $1.1 billion. That's how much is spent over about a 2-year period on a presidential campaign. Donald Trump's presidential campaign, according to a New York Times estimate, has received already $1.9 billion in free media in just the last 8 months. No candidate in history has had that kind of free ride. Here is some of that free media.
And we have water, and it's a very successful, it's a private little water company, and I supply the water for all my places, and it's good. And we have Trump steaks. And by the way, if you want to take one, we'll charge you about, $50 a steak. He said, Trump Magazine is out. I said, it is? I thought I read one 2 days ago. This comes out, and it's called The Jewel of Palm Beach. The airline, by the way, I sold the airline. He said, Trump Airline. Well, I sold the airline, and I actually made a great deal. But we have a lot of great people who want to get back into Trump University. It's going to do very well. And by the way, the winery, you see the wine, because he mentioned Trump vodka. It's the largest winery on the East Coast. I own it 100%, no mortgage, no debt. You can all check. You just have to go check the records, folks. In fact, the press, I'm asking you, please check.
Every single thing he said there was untrue. Every single thing. That's why Bernie Sanders calls him a pathological liar. He rattled off a string of lies, knowing that they were lies, and then challenged reporters to actually check his lies. And I was sitting at our anchor desk that election night, fact-checking that speech as he was saying it. I already knew that the steak business had failed years ago, but I had to look up the rest of the stuff. And then I didn't get a chance to say a thing about it for the next 3 hours of our live coverage as we cut to other people's speeches and other things that we were covering. And so long after our peak audience went to bed, in the wee hours of the early morning of our coverage, I offered a few correctives to what you just heard Donald Trump say. And then the next day, other news organizations debunked all of those Trump claims. But those articles and those TV segments were seen by a much smaller audience than the primetime, election night TV audience that saw that speech filled with lies, carried live on all 3 news networks without any contradiction about what he said in that speech. Donald Trump presents a challenge that the media has never seen before. How do you cover a pathological liar who is the front runner for a major party presidential nomination?